Hello everyone, I am Shupriya Ghoshal, faculty member of Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Science and Technology. Today I have discussed about the topic of compressibility and consolidation of soil. In this slide, I have discussed about what is meant by compressibility, consolidation and swelling. First, I have discussed about what is meant by compressibility. The decrease in volume of soil mass under stress is known as compression, and the property of soil mass pertaining to its susceptibility to decrease volume under pressure is known as compressibility. Pertaining means to be applicable to decrease, and susceptibility means sensibility or likely to decrease its volume. Next is consolidation. Every process involving a decrease in the water content of a saturated soil without replacement of the water by air is called process of consolidation. In other words, consolidation is the process in which reduction in volume takes place by expulsion of water under long-time static load. Next is swelling. In the opposite process of consolidation is called swelling, which involve an increase in the water content due to increase in the volume of voids. In this slide, I have discussed about the consolidation process, that is spring analogy. Terzaghi compared the spring dashboard model to the soil grains and void filled with water to explain the mechanism of consolidation. Here, the spring is compared to the soil grain and the dashboard is compared to the soil void filled with water under stress. The valve represents the drainage phase. Let the initial stress in the soil, that is sigma dash 0, under its own weight, and the soil is deformed due to this stress. Suppose an additional load is applied on the soil water system to cause the additional stress, that is del sigma. If the soil grains have to share this additional load, they have to undergo deformation. As the water filling the soil voids is incompressible and it will not allow the deformation of the soil grains. As the soil solids cannot deform, they cannot take any additional stress, and thus the entire additional stress applied to bound by the pore water filling the voids. This is the continuation of third slide, and here the stress equation at the initial stress is as follows. The formula of stress equation at the initial stress is del sigma equal to del sigma dash plus del u, where del sigma is the additional stress applied on the soil water system, del sigma dash is the additional stress in the soil grain known as effective stress implements equal to 0, and the additional stress in the water in the void equal to del sigma. Now the additional stress in pore water, del U, known as excess hydrostatic pressure or pore water pressure, causes a stress gradient between the pore water within stress zone and outside the pressure bulb, causing a little amount of water which is under stress to flow out of the voids. The facility of the partial deformation of the soil grain and the part of additional stress applied is transformed from the water to the soil solids. And the next is the stress equation at this intermediate stage as follows. So the formula of stress equation at the intermediate stress is del sigma equal to del sigma dash plus del u, where del sigma is the additional stress applied on the soil water system, del sigma dash is the effective stress increment having the value of more than 0 and less than del sigma, and del u the pore water pressure having the value less than del sigma but more than 0. Now, after lapse the sufficient time, the pore water in the void of the stress zone flows out the pressure bulb until it remaining water in the pressure bulb is completely reliable to the additional stress. This outflow of water facilitates sufficient deformation of the soil through the rearrangement of solid particle and the additional stress in the water is completely transferred to the soil solids. The time taken to the complete transfer of stress from the pore water to the soil solids depend on the rate of flow of water, which is permeability of soil and availability of suitable drainage phase, that is the soil sand and gravel strata. If sand or gravel layer exists both the top and bottom of the compressible soil layer or clay layer, expansion of pore water will occur faster, both the upward and downward directions. On the other hand, if the previous soil layer is only on the one side of the compressible soil, expulsion of water take place only the one directions, either upward or downward, and this depends of geological formation of soil at the site. In this slide, I have discussed about the stress equation at the final stage. So, the formula of the stress equation at the final stage is del sigma equal to del sigma dash plus del u, where del sigma is the additional stress applied on the soil water system and del sigma dash is the additional stress in the soil solid equation to del sigma, and del u the pore water pressure equal to 0. The stress system at the initial stage, intermediate stage and the final stage of the consolidation process is shown. So, from the first figure, we have concluded that this is the graph of pore pressure dissipation. From this figure, we have showed that the excess pore pressure at the beginning at its peak, and after the increment of the time, it gradually decrease. At the same time, it become 0. From first figure, we have concluded that U sigma means pore pressure dissipated at time t and ut equal to balance pore pressure at time t. And from the second graph, it is about the effective stress versus time, and here we see that effective stress increase with respect to time, and the denotation of this is del sigma dash Tc means balance of effective stress increment to be gained, and sigma dash T equal to effective stress increment at time t. And the third graph, this is the representation of consolidation versus time. Here we see that consolidation increase with time. And here the denotation is UTC means degree of consolidation yet to be completed, and UT means degree of consolidation completed at time t. This slide also the continuation of spring analogy, and this is the last slide of spring analogy. From the first slide we have concluded that since the water is incompressible, the stresses applied to saturated clay soil are initially taken by the pore water in the form of excess hydrostatic pressure or pore water pressure. The resulting stress gradient in the water within and outside the stress zone causes expansion of the pore water, and further causing the transfer of stresses from pore water to soil solid, thus increasing the effective stress in soil which undergo compressions. The rate of expansion of pore water, the dissipation of pore water pressure increase the effective stress, and hence the compression of soil solids depends upon the permeability of clayey soil and the availability of previous layer among other factors. This time-dependent compressions of layer involving expansion of pore water is known as consolidation, and the end of consolidation process is signified by the complete dissipation of the pore water pressure to 0. In this slide, I have discussed about coefficient of compressibility and volume compressibility. The soil are often subjected to uniform loading over large area such as from wide foundation, embankments, etc. The age of loading area under one-dimensional compressions, it can be described from the decrease of volume of voids with the increase of effective stress. This relation of void ratio and effective stress can be decreased either as the arithmetic plot or in semilog plot. In this graph, we have see that the y component is taken as void ratio and x component is taken as effective stress. So, in this graph, we can see the increase of effective stress that decrease the void ratio. In the arithmetic plot as shown, as the soil compresses for the increase of effective stress, that is del sigma dash, and the void ratio reduced by the smaller magnitude from del E1 to del E2. This is on account of increasingly denser packing of the soil particle as the pore water is forced out. In fine soil, a longer time is required for the pore water to escape as compared coarse soils. It can be said that compressibility of soil decreases as the effective stress increase. This can be represented by the slope of the void ratio and effective stress relationship, which is called coefficient of compressibility or AV. So the formula of AV, that is negative del E by del sigma dash. We use here negative sign because the void ratio is decreasing. For a small range of effective stress, AV equal to E0 minus E by del 0, or del E by del sigma 0. The negative sign is introduced to make AV a positive parameter. If E0 is initial void ratio of the layer, about useful parameter is coefficient of volume compressibility, that is MV. So the formula of MV equal to del V by V into 1 by del sigma 0, or del E by 1 plus E0 into 1 by sigma 0. We replace del E by del sigma 0 with AV. So finally we can write AV by 1 plus E0. It represents the compressions of soil per unit original thickness due to unit increase of pressure. In this slide, I have discussed about normally consolidated clay and over consolidated clay and compression index, that is CC. Here the graph where y-axis represent void ratio and x-axis represent sigma dash. It is plotted in semi-log graph. First, here the curve OP represents the virgin compression and also FR represent the virgin compression curve. In this curve represent the compression of soil which has not been subjected the past to pressure greater than those which are been applied for the present compression, and here PQ represent by the expansion curve during expansion the sample which never attained the original void ratio because of some permanent compression, mainly due to irreversible orientation undergone by the soil particles under compression. This is also called swelling index or CS. It is measured the volume increase due to the removal of pressure. If the soil is again put under compressions, a recomposition curve such as FQ is obtained. The void ratio at F being always less than at P. At the same pressure, the straight line portions of the virgin compression curve can be expressed by the following empirical relationship given by Terzaghi. It is EF equal to E0 minus CC log base 10 sigma 2 dash by sigma 1 dash, where E0 means initial void ratio corresponding to the pressure sigma 1 dash, EF equal to void ratio at increased pressure sigma dash 2, and CC means compression index, it is dimensionless. Compression index represents the slope of linear portions of the pressure and void ratio curve. So from previous equation we can say that Cc equal to del E by log base 10 sigma dash 2 by sigma dash 1, or del E equal to E0 minus EF. The pre-consolidation stress sigma dash Pc is defined to the maximum effective stress experienced by the soil. This stress is identified in comparison with the effective stress in its present state. So, soil at state Q and F, these would compressions to the effective stress at point P. If the current effective stress S dash is equal and deposited to say to the normally consolidated, that is NC, if the current effective stress is less than the pre-consolidated stress, the soil is said to be over consolidated or OC. It may be seen that for the same increase in effective stress, the change in void ratio is much less than an over consolidated soil than it would have been for a normally consolidated soil as a path OP. In unloading, the soil swells, but it increase the volume is much less than the initial decrease in volume for the same stress difference. The distance from the normal consolidation line has an important influence on the soil behavior. This is decreased numerically by the over consolidated ratio, that is OCR, which is defined the ratio of pre-consolidation stress to the current effective stress. OCR equal to sigma dash PC by sigma dash. When the soil is normally consolidated, then OCR equal to 1. In this slide, I have discussed about the assumptions in Terzaghi theory of consolidation. The first assumption is the soil is homogeneous and fully saturated. Second is soil particle and pore water are incompressible. Third one is the flow of water during expulsions of pore water occur only in the vertical directions. That is, the consolidation is one dimensional. Fourth point is the change in volume of soil due to consolidation is negligible compared to the initial volume of soil. Next, flow is laminar and Darcy law is valid. Next is permeability is the same throughout the thickness of the compressible soil layer. Next, the coefficient of volume compressibility, that is MV, remain constant with time. Next, compression takes place only due to expansion of pore water, that is the initial and secondary consolidation is neglected. And the last one is the coefficient of consolidation for a given soil and site consolidations is assumed to be constant. There are three variables in the consolidations equation. First one is the depth of soil element in the layer, that is Z. Second is the excess pore water pressure, that is U, and the time since the applicables of the loading, that is T, where D is drainage path, which is the longest path taken by the pore water to the reach a permeable subsurface layer above or below of consolidation at the certain locations. The consolidations ratio at depth Z or UZ, which is the ratio of pore pressure to the initial excess of pore water, and the time factor T equal to CV into T by D square. There are useful approximations relating to the degree of consolidations and the time factor, that is for U less than equal to 0.6, then T equal to pi by 4 into U square, and when U greater than 0.6, then T equal to 1.781 minus 0.933 log base 10 100 minus U percentage. In this slide, I have analyzed Terzaghi consolidation theory. Here, the total stress increases when additional vertical load is first applied. Instantly, the pore water pressure increases by exactly the same amount. Subsequently, there will be the flow from region to higher excess pore water to region of lower excess pore water pressure, and finally causing dissipation. The effective stress will change and soil will consolidate with time, which we will find from the figure. So, in this figure, firstly excess pore water pressure denoted by y-axis and time denoted by x-axis. So, here we see at the beginning, before of addition stress, excess pore water is maximum after applied the load with respect to time, and excess pore water pressure decrease, and finally after some time it will be 0. And in second graph, y-axis represent the effective stress versus time. In this graph, before the additional stress, there will be some effective stress. After the additional load with respect to the time, it will increase. And in third graph, y-axis represent consolidation versus time. So in this graph we will see that the consolidation will increase with respect to time. On the assumption the excess pore water drains only along the vertical lines. An analytical procedure it can be developed for computing the rate of consolidations. This is the continuation of the previous slide. In this slide we consider a saturated soil element of size dx, dy and dz. Here E0 is the initial void ratio of the consolidating layer. The initial volume of solid in the element dx, dy, dz which remain constant. The change in water volume can be represented by the small change del E in the current void ratio E. So the flow equation we can write kz by gamma w del square u by del z square dx dy dz equal to dx dy dz plus 1 plus E0 into del E by del T. With respect to U, which is excess pore water pressure, from the equation we can easily say change in pore water pressure is also change in height, and it is depend upon void ratio and time. The void ratio decreases with increase of time. So finally we can write kz by gamma w into del square u by del z square equal to 1 by 1 plus E0 into del E by del T. This is the hydrodynamic equation of one-dimensional consolidations. If AV equal to coefficient of compressibility, the change in void ratio can be expressed as del E equal to AV into negative of del sigma dash or AV into del U. Since any increase in effective stress equal to the decrease in excess pore water pressure, then the formula is del E by del T equal to AV into del U by del T. So the flow equation we can write kz by gamma w into del square u by del z square equal to AV by 1 plus E0 into del U by del T, or kz by AV into 1 plus E0 by gamma w into del square u by del z square equal to del U by del T. By introducing the parameter called coefficient of consolidations, the flow equation, then we can write Cv into del square u by del z square equal to del U by del T, or Cv equal to kz by AV into 1 plus E0 by gamma w, or kz by mv into gamma w. Cv is known as the coefficient of consolidation. Its units are meter square per second or centimeter square per second. It indicates the speed with in which the consolidation takes place. The higher value of the coefficient of consolidation, faster will be rate of consolidation and less time will be required to complete the consolidations. In this slide, I have discussed about the consolidation, settlement and time. To estimate the amount of consolidation which would occur and the time it would take to occur, and it is necessary to know. First of all, we have to know the boundary and the drainage conditions. Second is the loading conditions. Third is the relevant parameter of the soil, including initial void ratio, the coefficient of compressibility, then coefficients of volume compressibility, compression index, and coefficient of consolidations. They are obtained from consolidation test on representative undisturbed sample of the compressible soil strata. Comparing the compressible soil layer with soil elements of this thickness is change in thickness by total thickness equal to change in volume by total volume, or del H equal to mv into del sigma into h, or we can write del H equal to cc by 1 plus E0 into log base 10 sigma dash 0 plus del sigma by sigma dash 0 into h. In this slide, I have discussed about the difference between compaction and consolidation of soil. In compaction, it is an instant process. It can be used for all type of soil. And in consolidation, it is a slow process. It can be used only clay type soil. In compaction, it is an artificial process. Consolidation is a natural process. In compaction, dynamic loads by rapid mechanical method like tamping, rolling and vibrating are applied for a small interval in soil compactions. In consolidation, static and sustained loading is applied for the long interval in soil consolidations. In compaction, soil change from the partially to fully saturated condition, and in consolidation, soil remain in fully saturated condition. Compaction is due to expulsion and compressions of air in solid mass under short durations by moving or vibratory loads. Consolidation is due to expulsions of pore water from the voids under steady static long-term load. In compaction, dry density of soil increase but water content will remain same. In consolidation, dry density of soil increase but water content will decrease. In this slide, I have discussed about some solved problem which is very important for examination. So the first problem is a soft normally consolidated clay layer is 20 meter thick with a moisture content of 45%. The clay has a saturated unit weight of 20 kilonewton per meter cube, a particle specific gravity of 2.7 and a liquid limit of 60%. A foundation load will subject to center of layer to a vertical stress increase of 10 kPa. Groundwater level is at the surface of the clay. Estimate number 1, the initial and final effective stress as the center of layer. Number 2, the approximate value of the compression index Cc. And number 3, the consolidation settlements of the foundation if the initial effective stress at the center of soil is 100 kPa. So, first we assume unit weight of water or gamma W equal to 10 kilonewton per meter cube. Then we have to found sigma dash 0 equal to gamma dash into 10, or the formula of gamma dash means gamma sat minus gamma W. In questions, though the clay soil has saturated unit weight 20 kilonewton per meter cube, so here we deduct 20 minus 10 into 10 equal to 100 kilonewton per meter square. So finally we get the value of sigma dash 0. Then we have to found del sigma dash equal to 10 kPa. The value of 10 kPa already given in question. Here a foundation load will subjected the center of layer to a vertical stress increase of 10 kPa. It means del sigma dash. Okay, then we have to found sigma dash. The formula of sigma dash equal to sigma dash 0 plus del sigma dash equal to 100 plus 10 equal to 110 kilonewton per meter square. After that, in questions already given, we have to find the approximate value of compression index or Cc. So the formula of Cc is 0.009 WL minus 10, and finally we get the value 0.45 of Cc. Then we have to find the consolidation settlement of foundation if the initial effective stress at the center of soil is 100 kPa. So the formula of that is del H equal to Cc into H0 by 1 plus E0 into log base 10 sigma dash 0 plus del sigma by sigma dash 0, where E0, the formula of E0 is basic formula is we know E equal to W into G by S. Here from figure we get soil is fully saturated, so the value of S equal to 1. So the formula of E0 equal to W into G. From questions already given the value of W, that is moisture content of 45%, means W equal to 0.45, and G, the value of G already given, specific gravity is 2.7. So we just multiply the value of W and G and we get the answer 1.215. E0 equal to 1.215. Then we have put all the values already we have calculated, and finally we get the value of del H, that is 16.82 centimeter. In this slide, the second example is an undisturbed sample of a clay stratum 2 meter thick was tested in the laboratory, and the average volume of coefficient of consolidation was found to be 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter square per second. If a structure is built on a clay stratum, how long it will take to attain half of ultimate settlement under the load of the structure? Assume double drainage. Here, first we have to find u less than 60%. Why? In these questions already it will mention that how long it will take to attain half of ultimate settlement under the load of structure. So here TV for u equal to 50% already given in questions. So the formula of TV, first we consider pi by 4 into u by 100 square, d equal to half 1 by 2 into 2 equal to 1 meter or 100 centimeter. So TV 50 equal to pi by 4 into u equal to 50% already given. So 50 by 100 square equal to 0.197. So we get TV 50 equal to 0.197. Then we calculate small t 50. So the formula of small t 50 equal to TV 50 into d square by CV. So we put all the value, and finally we get the answer equal to 114 days. T50 equal to 114 days. In this slide, the third example is a building is constructed on a ground surface beneath which there is a 2 meter thick saturated clay layer sandwiched between the two highly pervious layers. The building starts settling with time if the average coefficient of consolidation of clay is 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter square per second. In how many days it will building reach the half of its final settlement? Here T50 equal to 0.197 given. So the clay has two drainage. In saturated clay, the height of saturated clay is 2 meter already given in questions, and in saturated clay layer the top and bottom also attached with a pervious soil layer. So D equal to H by 2 or 2 by 2 equal to 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. And in questions already mentioned that u equal to 50%. So in previous problem we already find u50, tv50 in questions already value given, that is 0.197, and the coefficient of consolidation of clay equal to 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter square per second already given in question. So finally we find small t50 equal to tv50 into d square by cv. So we put the all given value, and finally we get the answer 91.2 days. So small t50 equal to 91.2 days. In this slide, the fourth example is an undisturbed sample of clay 24 mm thick consolidated 50% in 20 minutes. When tested in the laboratory with drainage allowed at top and bottom, the clay layer from which the samplers were obtained is 4 meter thick in the field. How much time will take to consolidate 50% with double drainage? If the clay stratum has only single drainage, calculate the time of consolidation 50%. Assume uniform distribution of consolidation pressure. For same degree of consolidation, TV is same. Here time factor is same. Hence, small t varies proportional d square by cv. Also, since both the soils are same, T proportional D square. In problem for the same case of double drainage, T2 by T1 equal to D2 by D1 whole square. In questions already given the value of D2 equal to, for double drainage, that's why we divide by 2. 4 by 2 equal to 200 centimeter, and D1 is already given 24 millimeter thick undisturbed sample, so 2.4 by 2 equal to 1.2 centimeter. And T1 time for 50% consolidation in the laboratory equal to 20 minutes. So we put all the value, T2 equal to T1 into D2 by D1 square, and finally we get the value, that is 386 days. We get the value of T2. In second part, in questions already given, if the clay stratum has single drainage, so for single drainage D2 equal to 4 meter. In previously double drainage system, though it is double drainage, that's why we divided by 2, and in single drainage D2 equal to 4 meter equal to 400 centimeter. In same process we put the value of T2, that is T1 into D2 by D1 square, and finally we get the value, that is 1544 days. In this slide, the fifth example is in a laboratory test on a clay sample of thickness 25 mm, drain at top only. 50% consolidation occur in 11 minutes. Find the time required for the corresponding clay layer in the field 2 meter thick and drained up top and bottom to undergo 70% consolidation. Assume T50 equal to 0.197 and T70 equal to 0.405. So first, H equal to 25 millimeter already given in questions. D equal to 25 millimeter equal to 0.025 meter for single drainage. U equal to 50% or 0.5, and T equal to 11 minutes already given in question. So finally we put all the value, that is CV equal to, we know TV 50 into D square by T. So we put the all value and finally get the CV, that is 1.1193 into 10 to the power minus 5 meters square per minute. Then in double drainage, H equal to 2 meter. So D equal to H by 2. This is double drainage system, that's why D equal to H by 2. So 2 by 2 equal to 1 meter. This is double drainage system, that's why we put D equal to H by 2. So 2 by 2 equal to 1 meter, and finally we put the all value, that is small t equal to TV 70 into D square by CV. Finally put we all the value and we get T equal to 25.13 days. This is the last slide of this topic, and here the problem is calculate the coefficient of volume change for pressure range 100 to 200 kilonewton per meter square. Calculate given data E0 equal to 1.121 and E equal to 0.964 and H0 equal to 2.080 and H equal to 1.926, and calculate number 1 change in void ratio method, number 2 change in thickness method. So number 1 change in void ratio method, in question already given sigma dash 0 equal to 100 kilonewton per meter square. So del sigma dash equal to 200 minus 100, that is 100 kilonewton per meter square. Sigma dash equal to 200 kilonewton per meter square already given. E0 equal to 1.121 and E equal to 0.964. So del E equal to E minus E0, that is 0.964 minus 1.121 equal to minus 0.157, and we know mv equal to minus del E by 1 plus E0 into 1 by del sigma dash. We put all the value and finally we get the answer 0.74 meter square per mn. In second question, that is find out change in thickness method. Here sigma dash 0 equal to 100 kilonewton per meter square, sigma equal to 200 kilonewton per meter square. So del sigma dash equal to 200 minus 100, that is 100 kilonewton per meter square, and h0 equal to 2.080, h equal to 1.926. So del h equal to h minus h0, that is 1.926 minus 2.080 equal to minus 0.154, and we know mv equal to minus del h by h0 into 1 by del sigma dash. We put all the value and finally we get the answer 0.74 meter square per mn.